right then, Mike Williams and Liam McKelvey. This Tuesday just gone, December the 5th, we saw the start of Destiny 2, Season 2, and also the launch of the Curse of Osiris DLC.
That's right, Jake Kulkowski. That did happen.
Yeah, it's been a big talking point all week, really, from fans and not so much fans alike. It's been everywhere, no matter what corner of the internet you reside in, wherever it's, press sort of side, forums, Reddit, everyone's talking
all of the sides.
Yeah, Twitter even, everyone's talking about this.
Yeah, there's lots of little news coming out in there, loads of little different revelations, like, oh, Bungie fucked us again. Yeah. And basically headlines to that effect about a few different things, actually.
I think I even saw a forum post called "When Did Bungie Turn Evil?" was one that caught the eye, didn't it?
This is the sort of thing that's been happening all day. So I was writing some talking points for this, and since time of recording and then there's been another 3 or 4 big revelations that's happened. So let's just get straight into it, okay? So I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the Curse of Osiris, but if you're listening to this and you don't have the game and you want to hear about what changes have been made to Destiny since the launch of Season 2, stick around because we'll be talking about that in a little bit. All right, so Curse of Osiris recently came out, which is the first of the at least 2 planned Destiny 2 bits of DLC. It was priced at £17 over here in the UK. It's about $20, yeah. What does that give you? Well, the level cap has been increased from level 20 to level 25. There's been 8 new campaign missions given to the players.
Which sounds like a lot, but...
Yeah,
is it though?
Yeah, but quite a lot of them are previously explored areas. You'll return into Earth, you return to that
kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, there's also 2 new strikes, which are incidentally 2 of the campaign missions. So yeah, already we're seeing a bit of recycled content, and I've only been talking about it for about a minute. There's a new social space, which is about the size of a Crucible map, called the Lighthouse. There's a new raid layer, which I can't speak on because I've not done it, and there's 2 new PvP maps or Crucible maps. So that's what you got for your £17.
Which, as a list of bullet points, sounds all right. Yeah, and if you'd have told me that before going into it, I probably would have been, that's a chunky bit of DLC right there. Yeah, 8 missions, two new maps.
All this is forgetting the additional, weapons and things, because there's a lot of them.
It sounds all right.
Yeah, and it's what isn't being advertised that seems to be the point of contention for a lot of people. So... First of all, should we just get our very brief impressions out of the way so everyone knows where we're at? I've played 90% of the expansion in its entirety.
And it only took you 27 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
That was a joke.
No, it's actually, it didn't take me very long at all. It was something we were playing together on Tuesday when it came out. I hit the max level cap in a couple of hours.
You ordered a pizza, I think?
I ordered a pizza and fit a new part on my computer. And I still managed to do it in 3 hours. So
I think I applied for a mortgage. And,
had the appointment. So Liam also hit the cap. Yep. I'm assuming it's the same for you, about 2 hours.
I think I've played probably about the same amount of content as you, Jake. Yeah. I've done those 2 new strikes. I think the only thing I haven't done is PvP in the raid at the minute.
You think didn't you do some of the new public event or whatever? Didn't you do some social space chilling?
I did a little bit. It's really not that much different from the tower or the farm. The 2 existing social spaces already.
Right.
It's literally just a nice little area you can wander about, look at the pretty skybox, and go to some vendors. That's about it, really.
What they really should have done, is make the farm cool. They should have given us. I haven't been back to the farm since finishing the game, and
give you a reason
finishing
to
the campaign. Sorry, the main campaign. And there's just literally no reason to go back there. They should have added some stuff to the farm that was necessary as part of the weekly loop, the weekly kind of reset. Yeah. They should have given you a cool reason to go back.
It's kind of just give you this sort of social space that you can use instead of another one, rather than utilising all 3 of them.
They added the reef in the first one, and that was all right. I mean, again, it had a very nice skybox, and but that had a couple of unique vendors, and it had faction, if I remember rightly, it had a faction vendor that you had to go to get to level up certain, so there was kind of a reason to go there for sure.
But I mean, I've got to sort of say that the campaign's 2 to 2.5 hours long, which is a lot bigger than House of Wolves and The Dark Below.
They aren't exactly high bars.
Yes, exactly. So is that what Bungie have been trying to do? Set the bar so low that they need to sort of step over it.
I think House of Wolves was probably the worst. or the lightest. Certainly, it felt.
Yeah.
Looking at the way the conversation is going, it feels about the same in terms of how the conversation is.
The conversation's going like it's nosediving heavily. This video is going out over the weekend, right? So by the time that you're watching this, guys, there's probably been loads more stuff. But I'm going to talk about some of the main issues, some of the main problems that players have been facing. All right, in no particular order. So first of all, I just want to touch on the microtransaction system, because the Eververse system inside Destiny is something that was originally shipped as a completely cosmetic affair. And that seemed quite inoffensive. These sort of cosmetic items have kind of ended up being sneakily not so cosmetic anymore. I'll give you an example. One of the Bright Engram rewards here, this is just one of them. There's loads more that probably haven't been discovered. Is a ghost that you can get, gives you 10% XP boost overall. I've got one in the game for Crucible.
Yeah,
it's 10% XP boost. But undoubtedly, that's a bit of bollocks, that, isn't it? So every 10 strikes, you get in the XP of another strike for nothing over your mates, which will help you level up and earn more things.
Which is quite significant.
This is a game that is, ongoing, like a service, games as a service sort of style. This could be the first step in what could ultimately lead to a lot more bollocks like this. What do you guys think of that?
It's just the problem is the fact that you can buy them, innit, obviously. So if they didn't have the microtransactions, no one would complain if you got a 10% XP boost ghost from a Bright Engram that dropped. It'd be absolutely fine. It's just that there's money involved in it, and I think that is the problem. If you're gonna do something like this, you've got to be so careful. You've got to stay so far away from pay to win and pay to progress and all that sort of stuff. You got to avoid it at all costs. I think now, looking at what happened to EA and Star Wars Battlefront, I think it's a huge mistake. It's such a small thing. Why even bother? It's like you said. It's opening the door. That's the only thing I can see. It's opening the door to further stuff. Otherwise, it's an absolute just asking for a headache.
Do you think it's to take away? When they do it, they can implement more of these, and then people will be saying, actually, that's been happening for months, didn't you know? Do you think, Liam, that it might be because the Battlefront 2 is the Eye of Sauron is truly fixed on them right now, so they're trying to sneak their shit in, or do you think they've probably planned this for a while?
I think it seems to be this is like Activision's MO when it comes to microtransactions. They did it in COD World War II recently as well, where Battlefront 2 was getting all the flack for like having pay to win and all that. And they were like, look guys, we're just cosmetic. But then when I started playing COD World War 2 a few weeks ago, the very first supply drop I got gave me a weapon skin, which, like the Ghost, gave me a 10% XP boost overall. And that was at the same time they quietly turned on microtransactions in COD World War 2. So I think it's just, this is like Activision's model in general. And but with all the flack EA's been getting, they're trying to sneak it past while no one's paying attention.
You just can't help but feel like there's a document floating around there somewhere where it's like, how best to implement a blah 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 model without alerting games industry, press and enthusiasts.
Funny you should say that. This is something great that I'm going to bring up here. This is something fresh. Won't be so fresh by the time this video goes out, but here we go. So like we were just saying then, this seems to be like the foot in the door, and you might be thinking, well guys, no, maybe it's just a one-off. And then you were just saying it might be some master tact. Well, it is, and I'll tell you why. Bungie are now hiring. They're looking for designers specifically to create player progression behind loot boxes. And one of the things that they said was using data and design sensibilities to define strategies for maintaining ideal engagement patterns and max. This is what I'm not even going to read the end of that sentence.
That sounds so fun.
Games aren't about fun anymore, Mike. Have you not heard? They're about strategies.
Monetization.
So they're looking for somebody to create sustainable progression systems through the Bright Engrams. This is on their official website. This isn't like some fucking insider gossip. This is them full out saying
this isn't a Jason Schreier report. This is a Jake Kulkowski original.
This is a Jake Kulkowski report.
I think and that they've got all these patents and stuff on the boil, haven't they? How best to manipulate and point microtransactions at people and get people spending on microtransactions after they bought the game. Of course, they're looking at stuff like this in the future. I think it's this is probably going to emerge as a bit of a gaming news story, isn't it, over the next few days? Because it's pretty. It says a lot. It says a lot about what they want, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does. And so it may be already the signs might already be there that Destiny 2's got a very dark future. So let's just talk about the present rather than the future. The Curse of Osiris is actually a time-bending bit of DLC. So
wow.
A little bit of a...
So this isn't just a video. This isn't just a YouTube video. This is indeed
from your
art.
boy. So here's something that I haven't encountered. I'm not sure if you guys have either, but there's a huge complaint about the overpowered and quote-unquote broken exotic weapon called the Prometheus lens.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's flipping ridiculous.
So this is quite similar to the exotic sort of weapon you got by pre-ordering a game called the Cold Heart. This is an exotic tracer rifle that fires this continuous beam of fire, and it has this increasing AoE like heat field thing, and it grows while the weapon continues to fire. It's got to be a bug because it is honestly, it's melting people. I saw this guy go around the corner. It's insane.
It's melting their in-game characters, we should clarify. Yeah. People are not melting on their sofas at home.
If people could melt with rage, they would be.
They probably are, yeah.
I saw this guy turn a corner. He was up against 2 players in the Crucible who had their supers enabled. If you're a Destiny player, you're going to know what I'm on about. He turned a corner. There was 2 people, a Titan and a Warlock. They had their supers enabled. He turns on this gun, melts them both in half a second. They don't even have time to react.
It's like Mars Attacks.
It's genuinely like an assimilation ray. Yeah, something like that. Pure death ray. It's got to be a bug. It's overpowered as hell, and it's ruining the sort of meta game with the Crucible.
That's got to be a simple fix, though. Yeah, just get it the fuck out of the game to begin with. Get it back in there when it's nerfed and optimized properly. None of this like simple like just balance fixes or whatever. I always do this like, oh yeah, we'll continue to look at it and assess in the future. Just fuck it off. There's a lot of guns in the game. Yeah. Get it out of there, sort it out, and then put it back in when it works.
Do you think that it will be removed?
No, it won't. Because people have got it equipped and everything, haven't they? But
maybe. I think it might be. They took out the
walk.
Yeah, the walk emote when they found people using it to glitch out of walls and stuff
if it's accused of being racist, it's out there straight away. If it's like the KK...
Well, no, that was literally just glitching through the level. That was the problem.
No, I'm on about the armband things that look like that flag, the Kekistan flag. That was taken out in 24 hours. Yeah. The bureaucratic walk people are using to break the game, right? Yeah. This, though, do you think it's going to be we're going to be looking at the damages?
I think that that arms gauntlet thing, they just painted over it, right? They just kind of, Whereas this is a weapon that people have got equipped, but it is so ridiculous that like, just fucking just change, just get it out of there and give everyone fucking Nameless Midnight instead or something.
There's one more point that we got to bring up, and this is probably the biggest one, so I've saved the best for last. Shouts out to everyone that's still listening. Basically,
I love that we've left it like till 15, 17, whatever minutes in, and we're still hyping it up. This is crazy. You're not going to believe this, you guys. This is huge news. I just strap in. Honestly, I cannot specify enough.
Strap on all my Bloodborne fans.
Strap on. Let's get
to it then. Come on then. Right. Basically,
honestly, it's going to be amazing.
It is. The base game of Destiny boasted a bunch of features, a bunch of modes and things like that, okay? A lot of these modes are kind of timed. They're hidden behind a time. One of these is Trials of the Nine, which is a weekends-only super competitive PvP mode. Mm-hmm. It kind of revolves around one map at a time. There's also the Nightfall, which is a weekly hardcore version of the Strike and things like that. Normally, the sort of point of entry is a level cap. Now, here's the fucking clincher. The level cap has been raised on these events to like 21 or 22. Mm-hmm. What's the problem there? Well, the problem is unless you own the DLC, you can only get to level 20. So what that means is vanilla base game content has now been extended to people that have the DLC only. People have had the game on the PC have only had a month and a half to enjoy this content, and now they have to pay an extra £17 for the privilege of playing that. If you're a player on the Xbox or the PlayStation and you're a trophy or achievement hunter, you can't get the Platinum Trophy or the 1,000 gamer score anymore. Is the 1,000 gamer score still a thing?
Yes, that's still there.
Well, you can't do that anymore because one of the achievements is called the Prestige, and you get that from doing the Prestige Nightfall. You can't get that anymore because of this update.
You need the DLC.
What the fuck is that about?
They've essentially locked Platinum Trophy for the base game of Destiny 2 behind DLC.
As a percentage of content, that's 15% of the base game content has now been removed.
If there's one thing that video game players love to have is having content gated off after they've previously been able to access it, which
that's one of my favourite things.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of it.
Love it
I'm quite gutted they've actually got the DLC because otherwise, I'm missing out on that. But so this is so. Isn't this so bad mad that you can have people actually getting refunds.
Yeah, people have been, and they have been refunded it, especially people who have got the Xbox version. So that there's the Microsoft exclusive.
Refunds of your poorly.
Basically, what's happening is people are quite rightly saying, I can't get platinum. And that's how they're saying it, is through this, I haven't got the ability to 100% the game, therefore 100% of the game isn't playable anymore, I'd like a refund. And this is a game that they bought months ago, and they're not getting...
They have to sort this out by the time this video comes out. We are recording this on Thursday. If this is still the case on Saturday, that is atrocious.
Yes. There's a huge update coming to Destiny, December the 12th, where they're boasting changes to cooldown times, changes to weapon power, changes to vendors, this, that, the other. Loads.
Rock and roll, it's on.
No, loads. But what I mean is loads of changes to the base game's code. So if they don't fix this Prometheus lens, if they don't fix this level cap shit by then, when they implement this huge fucking patch, the game is dead in the water. It's splintered its fan base so much. And it doesn't matter, like what I'm trying to say, and this is the last point to end on. If you like lots of end game content, Destiny 2 hasn't provided it this week. If you like PvP and the quality in that, in terms of the ability to play fair, you haven't got that. Well, if you like playing with any of your friends that haven't bought the DLC, you're fucked. It hasn't offered you anything good this week, unless you're like us with our heads in the sand and we just like shooting things, fuck everything else.
Well, not only has it not provided you with endgame content, it's actually taken it away from you if you haven't bought the DLC. That is terrible.
You know what? It may be a bit of a hyperbolic statement, but I think this has been handled.
The worst thing I have ever seen.
I was going to say, I think this is handled so badly that if this was EA doing it, Battlefront 2 and stuff like that, it would be mainstream media again.
It's like worst company of 2017 award, and then Activision like, hang on, we've still got a month here, lads. We can fucking do this. We can get this award.
I did think Destiny 2 had it quite easy. And now it looks like it's going to be a rocky road for them, and they're going to be in big trouble.
Well, just play War for a minute.
Try something. Wait, something's happening. What is
going on? Whoa! New shell. Who? Did you actually just put me in a strange machine you've never